Hi, my name is Jenny Lauren Dowden for Conduit News. Today we have Dr. Amy Beard joining us. As many of you know, she's a certified functional medicine practitioner and she practices online. Her practice is online, but she is located in Little Rock. Hi, Dr. Beard.
Good morning, Jenny.
It has been forever since you have joined us on Conduit News. In fact, I've been getting a few emails from YouTube. They have suspended our account because of interviews that we did with you months ago for medical misinformation. So I decided, you know what, let's have you back.
Well, I apologize for that. Truth hurts sometimes.
It does. Well, so much has happened in the past few months surrounding COVID and the narrative of the pandemic. So let's just jump right in. Most recently, the CDC said, "Oh, you know what? You were right. We were wrong. Sorry. Move along."
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Shocked. I mean, come on. The damage has been done, Jenny.
Yeah.
So, and they know that. That's why they are finally coming out and saying this. And quite frankly, they feel that nothing is going to happen to them by coming out and admitting this. Things that we knew since day one.
Yeah. I wanted to also mention, you have been shouting this from the rooftop for years, specifically just about the corruption in the CDC, and then now how it's moved to the COVID narrative. They announced this big overhaul within the CDC. Is that enough? What else do you think needs to be done?
Do you really trust this? I mean, at this point, if you still trust them, I don't know what to say to you.
Yeah.
It's not like they're going to be overnight. They're just going to discontinue the relationship with the pharmaceutical industry, which basically runs that place. Yeah, they may change some departments and get rid of this person or this person, but who's going to replace them? Come on. We weren't born yesterday.
I know. I think sometimes, though, it still is so shocking to me that, for instance, I was in a store yesterday and there was a woman double masked, and I'm thinking, I can't, which is her prerogative, I can't make sense of this anymore, especially knowing now what we know. Everything is out there. They released a number of documents about whether it's masking or the vaccine, reverse, side effects. It's all out there.
Yeah. I don't know if the people that are continuing to wear masks are just doing it because they don't want to admit that they were wrong, which I think that could be part of it. Some are just so completely, maybe they're just the remaining hypochondriacs walking around, or they're just the ones whose TVs are always tuned into CNN, or combination of all of those. I'm not sure, but I feel sad for them.
Yeah.
I do, because they have been fed a bunch of lies that they believe, and it's harming them.
Yeah. And speaking of harming them, let's talk about the document that was released that spoke about the side effects of the vax. Really heartbreaking. I know that you and I, off camera, we share some of these statistics. Just walk us through what you've seen so far in those documents.
Well, I mean, there was a lot of documents released, and it can take a long time to peruse all of the information. And thank goodness there are a lot of people who were helping us with that, getting the juicy parts and the 9 pages of the possible side or the adverse reactions that could occur. 9 pages for 1,200 possible adverse reactions. And the most alarming one to me was, all of the miscarriages that took place during the trials. We were warning women about this, and lo and behold, that was indeed the case that we're seeing unfold. And personally, I know a lot of women who have experienced miscarriages, and not just that, but now we know that the body can develop antibodies to sperm. So the male fertility. So it's not just impacting the women, it's impacting, the men as well. So we've got a big problem on our hands. And, I was looking at fertility rates that are plummeting that have plummeted over the past, since these vaccines were rolled out.
Yeah.
That to me is very scary.
And there's really not that many people sounding the alarm about that. So we've seen those documents. No one's really talking about it. And then also it feels like the big elephant in the room, all of these young adults, healthy young adults just dropping dead.
Yes.
And in case you didn't know, sudden adult death syndrome apparently is a thing now.
Oh, it's a new thing. It happened to correspond after the rollout of this, mRNA technology.
Yeah. And they're trying to normalize something like this, and not, for those who aren't paying attention as closely as you are, don't make the connection to, sudden adult death syndrome to the vaccine. That's not what it is. This has always been around.
It's climate change.
Right.
That's what's causing it, is climate change.
It's just so where do you see then the state of medicine going? I think that for the vast majority, people have lost trust in their doctors and in these big medical industrial complexes. We don't trust them anymore. We don't want to go there. We feel betrayed and lied to. So now what?
Well, first of all, I'm glad to see that distrust finally occurring, because it should have occurred a long time ago.
Yeah.
This is what is occurring is not so shocking. I'm shocked at the rate that it has occurred, but I'm not shocked at where we are right now. Just if you knew about the foundations of our current medical system, you would understand that this was going to be the natural progression of such. What we do now, though, is what I've been preaching all along, is you have to become independent from these. You cannot be dependent on this system. And you don't have to be. They've conned you into thinking you need them. And yes, we do need certain aspects of the care they provide. Like I've said, been there before, some of the emergency and urgent care, services, the ICU. There's always going to be accidents and things that happen outside of your control, and those doctors can help you. But when it comes to preventing and managing chronic disease, this needs to be destroyed, because they're not managing your disease with pills and procedures and injections. That's not helping you. That's harming you. And so you can get out. You can get away from this dependence. And people like myself, functional medicine physicians, who were trained as MDs, right? We know the enemy. And I say, and I call them the enemy. It's the system. Okay. I'm not picking on any particular doctor or specialty. It's the system. I know what they have to offer, and what they have to offer is not good for your health. Mm-hmm. But if you would find yourself a great functional medicine physician who can help you figure out what you're doing in your lifestyle that is contributing to your symptoms, then you can start getting off of all those pills. You don't need those procedures, and you don't have to worry about what's going on in this system that seems to be going down a very, very dark path.
Yeah. I think for a lot of people, or maybe some people, they may see what's going on. They feel like they can't trust their doctors, but at the same time, unplugging, I think, probably feels scary to them. Mm-hmm. There is probably an amount of, like a lack of trust and faith. Like, okay, can I really get off these? Because it's almost as if, we've been programmed all of our lives to think, okay, we need to go to the doctor. We need to get this shot.
What's on the TV all the time? Billboards, wellness checks. It just gets shoved down your throat that you have to see the doctor on a regular basis so they can check these labs and find stuff that might be wrong with you, so they can prescribe a pill to you for it.
Right. Yeah. So I think just helping people understand and kind of walk them through that path, because for a lot of people who this has been their lifestyle for decades. But they know that they need to, reverse course, but it just may seem a little scary to them.
I know. And when their doctor is always telling, well, you'll probably have to be on this medication for the rest of your life. And they hear this over and over. And it's almost like when the patients come to me and they want to try it a different way, there has to be a little bit of deprogramming.
Yeah.
And I have to kind of explain to them the background, how they were trained, how it's different than the functional medicine approach. And I kind of have to share my success stories. And it's really my story that I think speaks a lot to them, because I was a guinea pig for most of my life. You know, the industrial medical system, you know, did a lot of harmful things to me. But thank God, you know, I was able to overcome all of that and was introduced to a completely new way of thinking about health that works.
Yeah.
I didn't just start doing this a week ago. I've been doing this for years now.
Right.
And I know I get called all kinds of crazy names. You know, the quack is the one that gets thrown out the most by the doctors and the other healthcare professionals who have never done it this way.
And we're probably pushing the jab.
Absolutely. Yes.
So.
And it's unfortunate, because the institution, the Institute for Functional Medicine, the group, the organization that I received my certification through, also pushed the jab. So it's almost like the pharmaceutical industry has their tentacles in everything.
Yeah. Have you talked to any of your friends or colleagues who are in the medical profession, and maybe that light bulb finally went off, or they saw how things were changing, and maybe privately, you know, they said, man, you know what, we were wrong. Have you, and you don't have to say who was, but
no,
are you hearing any of that at all?
I have maybe heard one or two people say they were wrong. You're not going to hear it.
Yeah.
But what I do notice is that people who were very into the propaganda from the get-go are starting to like my posts now. So I take that as, you know,
that's right.
As a way of them saying, you know, indiscreetly, I was wrong, Dr. Beard, you know, which is fine. What? You know, as long as people start seeing the truth, I don't care. I don't need an apology. I really don't. I just want people to see the truth and not fall for this type of stuff again. Never again will we let this happen, because of safety, you know.
Yeah. I am saying the same thing too, Dr. Beard. However, when we say never again will we mask our children, never again will we do this, you know, and if we're following the science, it would show that it's not beneficial to mask. Okay, in California, you probably saw it on Instagram. Libs of TikTok posted it. Robbie Starbuck reposted it. A school in California called the police on a 4-year-old pre-K for not wearing his mask.
Yeah.
And then in Philadelphia, they just went back to school, to public school there. They have masked all of the pre-K kids. And so we say never enough. We have learned our lesson, but then here we are in the fall. These taxpayer-funded institutions and others are going back to those ridiculous protocols. Where are the people? Where are the parents? And what will it look like as we're heading into November? It's as if, you know, and Biden has said, oh, no, we're planning for the next pandemic. Okay, well, which one?
What's next, right?
What's next? And so we say never again, but then we see people repeating the same behavior.
It is just, I don't understand it. My mind doesn't work that way. Yeah. I wish I had an answer. Yeah. You know, I hear the parents complaining about it, but at some point you have to stand up for your child and stop letting other people do all the work for you. Because I'm telling you right now, I know I have a lot of other friends, we've been fighting a long time now. It's like, we need reinforcements, people. But I will continue to fight, because that's just what I do. But there are people that are getting battle weary.
Yeah.
And I guess you just have to wake up every day, pray, and ask God to give you the strength to continue on with the fight. But again, I'm speaking to those who have been silent and sitting on the sidelines and not getting involved. That time is over. You should have been involved yesterday. Think about if you would have been involved from day one, we would not be here at this point.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people don't like to get political, but politics will involve you whether you like it or not.
Yes. Yeah.
So you might as well get involved.
And really, this doesn't even feel like it's necessarily political anymore. It is just good and evil.
Yeah, good and evil. Yes.
Yeah. Well, okay, let's try to end on a positive note. What could you tell us to look forward to, or anything good that you see changing? Or talk to us about how our viewers could get in touch with you and your practice.
I wish I could end on a very, very positive note. I guess what I would say is that there's a lot of people who are now onto the scam and have lost trust in an industry that didn't deserve their trust to begin with. So I'm very happy to see that. My business is booming, which means that people are starting to wake up to the fact that this medical system does not have their best interest at heart, and there is another way. So that is very encouraging to see. I'm overwhelmed right now. Well, I've got somebody I'm hoping I'm bringing on real soon to help. So that's good, right? That's a good sign. And if you want to, if you're on a bunch of pharmaceuticals, or you're going to see your doctor with the same complaint, and they keep telling you your numbers look fine, I don't know what to do. You can go see the psychiatrist. I can refer you to the psychiatrist, because that's what they do when they don't know what else to do for you. Is give us a try. Yeah. It's an investment. We do not dance with the insurance market. Been there, done that. It just does not work. But with a little bit of investment, we can help you greatly. We can help you get off your pharmaceuticals. We can help you understand what you're doing in your life that is causing those symptoms that required those, or didn't require, but had you put on those pharmaceuticals to begin with. And then the goal is to never see you again. Once we've educated you, that's it. But again, we're all human. We all fall off the wagon from time to time. Life happens. And so, but those are the people who get back on the wagon real quick because they know what to do. I just want people to understand that you do not have to be dependent upon the system. You don't. I've seen people become independent. So many. And they are so grateful, and they feel encouraged, emboldened, and it's a wonderful thing to see, because I think that's how we should be living our lives, not in fear.
Absolutely, knowledge is power, and they're
not fearful anymore.
Right? Yeah. Well, listen, we want to have you back on again soon. Of course, everyone is talking about the gender reassignment surgeries, what we're doing to our kids. That is a horrific,
disgusting
topic, that we will say for another day, because I said we're going to end on a good note. But I want to have you back on and break that down. We're seeing that, of course, Representative Robin Lundstrom, she got that bill passed, the SAFE Act. That's not happening in Arkansas, but there are so many other things happening here statewide that I think parents also want to feel equipped about. So we'd love to have your opinion. We always really appreciate you and your insight. Thank you so much, Dr. Beard.
You're welcome. And if you want to, I'm on Facebook, Amy Beard, MD. I try to put out really good content every day. Same thing on Instagram. I have a Telegram channel as well. My website is real easy. It's simply amybeardmd.com. And you can read my personal story, how I came to be to this place in my life, helping other people through what I had to experience. And so it feels good. I didn't understand why I was having all those health issues for years and years and years. but it was, you know, God's hand. I think he brought me to this place so that I could help other people avoid what I had to go through.
That's what I was thinking too. That's what I was thinking too. Well,
so praise
thank you
God
so
for
much.
that. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you. Have a wonderful weekend, and we will have you back on Conduit very soon.
All right, Jenny, you too. I hope you have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you.